Good morning, everyone. Today we're checking out a brand new video from True Green 7, 4 artists turning Pokemon into humans. This is a long one. Let's go.
Hey guys, Ron here, and I invited a bunch of artists and asked them to make a bunch of Gajinkas. What the hell is a Gajinka? It's basically when you turn any creature into a human. In our case, it's Pokemon, obviously.
Oh, that's
I asked
cute.
Skynix, Mr. Bonnie John, and new to the channel, the wonderful Sterninator, to choose 3 Pokemon and create a child, teen, and adult human character. Now, there are endless possibilities with Gajinkas. You can lean into fantasy, sci-fi, or realism. You can basically restrict yourself to whatever an actual human looks like in the modern world, or you can give him armor or cat ears. We all have our preferences, so it'll be very fun to see the differences in the various Pokemon-inspired humans that we develop. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see a part 2, and check out more of the 4 artist videos and Pokemon art videos in general.
Alright,
so we're going to go through multiple rounds. First, we're all going to show our, I guess, youngest humans, also known as kids.
Our children that we birthed.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I think this is the first child I've drawn ever.
Ever? Really?
Yeah. And I didn't realize children were longer than I thought they were.
I'm so glad to hear
What?
that. Because I started drawing too and was like, I don't know what a kid looks like.
I kept on having to make them shorter and shorter and shorter every time because, like, the reference, they look taller than I thought kids were. And again, it's like I'm drawing like a 7-year-old. I was drawing, like, let's say, you know, a middle schooler, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, here's what we're gonna do also. First, we're gonna show our, like, just the character without any information. You guys might as well guess what Pokemon it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Who's that guy?
Who's that Pokemon?
Pyukumuku.
Okay.
Kind of obvious.
Interesting. It's a youth.
He
It
is
is a youth.
a youth.
Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is.
I think I know what it is too.
Damn it. I don't know my Pokemon as well
I
as
mean,
you
it's
guys
kind of
do.
obvious.
That's true. Let's say it
Faker.
all at the same time.
Pyukumuku.
Exactly.
Nice.
idea.
The shapes that I
Yeah.
saw, I was like, oh, it's Stunjourner. Backpack and like the decals.
Oh,
and
you're
stuff.
right, you're
But then I
right.
saw the hair and I was like, oh, okay, I'm seeing everything
Not just Pyukumuku, but also Salazzle.
come here. And I'm so glad you gave him a human name. I'm glad to know I wasn't the only one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that Pokemon. Okay, I just did not know the name of that guy.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll put it. All of mine have a sheet with the Pokemon. So Peter, also known as Pew. All of mine, they are basically humans in the Pokemon world. Originally they weren't, but then I realized, this would make a really good story.
Yeah.
All of my characters converge in Uva and Naranja Academy in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And our first character, Peter, also known as Pew, is from Heihei City in Alola. So he's
Not
from Sun and
bad.
Moon.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, he's an
So I have
island
a
boy.
pause.
He owns a Pyukumuku and a Salandit. I mean, owns. He trains.
Oh,
them.
no, that's his
The
team.
owns.
Okay. My
But,
mistake.
yeah, he's all about jokes and loves to drink slushies, and he loves eavesdropping and the beach and just chilling. You know, one of those actually, like, bearable.
That way you guys can see the team
middle
as well.
schoolers. Like, he can blend in with the adults. Like, adults like him, kids like him. He's not that annoying, but he can get on the nerves of the other
Oh, he's
characters
not
that you're going
that
to see in the
annoying.
future.
Yeah.
He's moving to Mesagoza, to Paldea, to go to school in Scarlet and Violet, basically. Here's the thing. So he's like Pyukumuku. He's very expressive with his, like, hand. So Pyukumuku actually does do, like, a peace sign with its, like, innards
Yeah, right there.
that come out of its mouth.
Right,
Yeah,
there.
you're right.
See?
So he's very expressive with his hands. Like, he prefers to, like do a salute or to do a peace sign or to, for example, finger guns. And some people say that maybe that's where his nickname comes from. Like, he does, like, pew 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 with his hands.
Oh, that would make sense.
But some say, he puked one time drinking too many slushies. Some say that the other characters that you'll see in the future think that he's puny because he's the youngest of the group.
I think what I
Okay.
love most about this design is definitely the hair spikes. That is such a creative way of incorporating the spikes. It just fits.
It was
so
kind of
well,
bubble.
honestly.
This is not what he wears in actual, like, he actually wears, like, the school uniform in the story, I guess. But when he's just going for a stroll around town or to the beach or anywhere else, this is his casual wear, I guess. And,
All right.
I'm wondering,
It would
did you
make sense.
include like anything from like the Pokédex or like the lore of the Pokemon itself? Did that influence like anything in the?
Well, definitely. I mean, he loves going to the beach, like Pyukumuku. He hates lightning because Pyukumuku is, you know,
Water type.
a water type. He only talks when he has something to say, you know? He'll let the other person look like an idiot, you know, as they blabber while he just, you know, says nothing until he needs to say something.
He's the silent type.
He's not like a quiet guy. He just only speaks when it's smart to speak. And he'd rather just use his hands to communicate
All right.
sometimes.
Something that I think is cool is I think it'd be really easy to go in and be like, okay, you know, gray sweater, pink hair, moving on. but you were able to carry a lot of the elements of Pyukumuku across.
Oh, yeah, look
you
at
didn't
the
have to give them
backpack.
pink shoes, but it super balances out the color that you're utilizing throughout. And the fuzzy backpack, I wish
Yeah.
I had.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got the tail, so you pop that in the back. Gotcha.
Okay, yeah. So
Exactly.
you incorporate everything in the Pokemon, like perfectly.
Yeah, even the
actually.
mouth like is incorporated into the stitch work. That kind of like white movement.
Yeah,
to
it's a
just
symbol on the
break against
shot.
all the black of the fit as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a fit that I'd love to wear. It's very cozy.
Yeah, no, that's the vibe.
Very
I'm getting.
nice.
You could definitely like just pull this off as just clothing if you want to dress like your favorite Pokemon.
Yeah, that's what all okay, so that's the vibe of all of mine where it's like they're straight up realistic humans that could exist. You can 100% wear what they're wearing and look how they look. I prefer that kind of Gajinka over like the super fantastical ones, but they're all good.
Yeah.
Oh, mine might be a little
Like
different.
one in a
than yours.
galaxy.
That's perfect. We get all the flavors of Gajinkas. But like I guess now that I think you asked the question like also like lore of the Pokemon that's incorporated, I guess originally like he was gonna be like island wear, like short clothes, sandals, and stuff like that. But I realized, hey, Pyukumuku is a very defensive Pokemon, so let's cover him in the clothes.
Now
I
that
assume
makes
none of you
sense.
guys did teams too for like that wasn't mandatory or anything. That was a last minute thing. I realized because I last minute I put them in the Pokemon world, and I'm like, oh, they should have Pokemon too. And it's realistic. Like if these people were in the Pokemon world, they would have only like 2 Pokemon and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
And
Only need
Obviously,
two.
they've got a favorite Pokemon. Like you.
exactly.
Yeah, so they're like inspired by. Yeah, like you have like Poke Freaks and Poke fans in the game that rock the merch, and these
Oh,
guys.
that
are,
is
this
true.
my best bud. I'm gonna like, just
Exactly.
rock it that style. Yeah.
The beta version of this was basically just this, but taller. Like I kept on over the design process, just kept on making them smaller and
Him
smaller.
shortening him down.
Because like apparently, yeah, the proportions of a 12-year-old are way taller than this. Apparently,
Gotta break the legs.
Even now, he still looks a little older than a 12-year-old. But no,
I
this
like
is-
that you say apparently like you've like children are like a
When was the
mythical
last
creature.
time I've seen a 12-year-old?
Have you stepped
I've
outside?
heard of children before, but
I've
never
heard of
have
children.
I.
I was 12 once many moons ago.
So I used again. He's a very Pyukumuku's very expressive. So it's like
Wait, what the?
I tried to put that into the personality. Skynix.
Okay, I'm up next.
Alright, here
it's
we go.
time to play another game of Guess That Pokemon.
Oh
Let's see
Here
it.
is my design. Can you guys guess which
It's
Pokemon?
Beldum.
Oh,
There's a pseudo.
it's
It's Pikachu.
Yeah.
It's one of my personal favorite Pokemon. Is it Beldum?
I love Metagross.
It is.
I love Beldum as well.
So,
This is nice.
you can probably tell that my design is a lot more like fantasy inspired, I guess, than I guess how True Green went.
Damn, look at
best
that.
team!
Extra
So, yeah.
credit.
Wow.
So when I was looking for Pokemon to turn into humans, I really just wanted to like go for the more abstract Pokemon that just didn't look
Sort of
anything
like
like a human, and I was like, Beldum, I have no idea what that guy could be. So it was a fun,
True.
like creative challenge trying to interpret how to put all of his parts into a human design.
Oh, yeah,
you can
but I bet
probably
it was fun.
definitely tell this guy's got a giant, like a robot arm. Because when I was looking at Beldum's original design, he kind of like looks like a robotic arm, doesn't he?
He literally is one.
And I
Yeah,
think in
he is straight up and all.
Beldum's X entry or something, it said he has like magnetic powers. So you can see that in the drawing I did. This guy has got like some cool magnetic powers. He's flying around all this metal to like throw at you.
It's very Akira.
I was thinking the same thing.
Literally,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Beldum only has one eye. I did a little bit of experimentation with how I can incorporate that. Like maybe I could give him an eye patch, or like maybe he's blind in one eye. But in the end, I was just like, I'm just gonna give him a cool mask, kind of like
Yeah.
the mask from
That
Naruto.
did well.
Who's
Yeah,
that
Toby.
like villain in Naruto? Toby, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, it just looked cool. It just fits because it kind of matches Beldum's original face shape.
Fire.
Yeah,
yeah. This
pretty
lighting is
much.
amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, in each of my designs, I just wanted to draw the character in some cool lighting, so you'll see that in the rest of them as well. Maybe there's a traumatic backstory, a traumatic reason he hides his face and he's only got one eye, and he's got these powers. So I'll
Ooh,
leave up
that
to
would
you
be
guys to
cl-
figure out.
awesome to
Metagross
see.
is one of my favorite Pokemon. So seeing Beldum, I'm always like, oh, precious little baby. Oh, big baby. How it suddenly becomes super intense. Like,
Yeah.
I love it. I dig it so much.
He is kinda
And
big.
I'm just noticing the cape too mimics that
Yeah.
arm.
If he closes
Oh,
his
yeah.
cape, his body would be like the same shape as the original Beldum design. Like it's got like this cylindrical feel with those like 3 spikes at the bottom, and then it's obvious his face is kind of the exact same as regular Beldum.
And like it's definitely way more
That's
badass
good.
than Beldum.
That's clever.
This is a really cool character.
Why are you saying Beldum's not badass? I can't believe
Beldum
this.
is cute.
He's a cute
Hey, I
arm.
like
Cute little
Beldum.
guy.
Yeah, this one goes to Steven and says, "You work for me now."
My own personal like backstory for this kid is like the trope of like what if the protagonist had went the bad route basically, you know?
Yeah.
The dog
He's definitely
fallen.
a little bit villain coded.
Villain, but like because of a very tragic backstory, and he could have been the good guy if it wasn't
Yeah.
for that. I want to see him voiced.
Oh, you want to see? What do you think his voice would be like?
I am Beldum.
I am Beldum.
I have a romantic voice, even though I'm six.
It would be a kid's
Oh.
voice, but through like a metallic,
yeah.
reverb,
Yeah. Oh.
and like
Kinda like maybe
really
an echo?
well acted like kid, like screaming, like you
Like
can
mine
feel
on
the
Echo.
anguish of this
Yeah,
abused
the
child. or whatever.
tragic character.
I feel like it's one of those voices that a kid would do on here where it's like it only comes across as very intimidating or very spooky. Like when they're being very heartfelt and genuine, it's like there's a bit of terror behind everything they're saying.
The original Full Metal Alchemist English dub.
Dude, I'm watching Full Metal Alchemist right now.
Okay,
Oh,
but like
wow.
I'm talking like the 2003 one, like the
Oh, the original.
yeah,
Oh.
like, Alphonse was voiced by a kid at that time. Aaron Dismuke. He sounds like a kid, and he has also a metallic reverb, so he would sound exactly like that, but like evil Alphonse.
Okay,
Evil
that would be
Alphonse.
nice.
Beldum,
I
I
can see
actually
that.
did struggle a bit with my
Sheesh.
first concept. So when I saw Beldum, like my first ideas were like maybe I could design like a space suit kind of kid. Like, because when I looked at Beldum, he looked very either
Vaguely
futuristic
hand-shaped.
or kind of space themed. I didn't end up liking that idea. You can see it in the bottom left. That's where all the spacesuit designs kind of are. Because it just didn't feel like you could look at that and be like Beldum. Like it just didn't look like Beldum at all.
Yeah, the final design really is the best one. It's perfect.
Oh, truly. Like, look at that.
It's a good balance
Good.
of everything you kind of got.
Appreciate the exploration. Though.
Yeah.
No, yeah. The thing is, for any of the aspiring, character designers watching, so what you see here with what Skynix is doing, when you have all these different approaches, like you really leave nothing behind,
Multiple
and you
different
want
ideas.
to find that optimal design. Like he wouldn't have reached that end goal if he didn't try all this. And then on
Yeah.
top of that, you can see, wait, I like one thing from this design. I'm gonna take that over to the next thing, and like you mix and match, and eventually you reach
That's
that
how
end
you
piece.
do it.
Anything else? Any other opinions on this? Or move on?
Yes, I love it.
Makes Matt grow and change.
Thank you.
Oh, Stern, show us what you got.
All right,
All right,
another
here we go.
fan favorite game. Who's that person?
Oh,
your mama.
I don't know
Hello,
its name.
kid.
I
Might
don't
have a
know
little
its
bit of
name.
idea.
Oh, this sucks.
I actually did. I went into like the Pokédex entry for Elekid, and I noticed how it it references a lot how it's able to generate electricity by twirling its arm. And I thought that is such a funny visual.
Such a kid thing to do.
It-
So I
Okay, I'm sorry for pausing, but this reminds me so much of Wallaby Beetle from Kids Next Door.
thought that's a kid thing to do. That's the kid at the playground who's
Absolutely.
like
It
twirling
literally
their
fits.
arms, stomping around, moving erratically. So what do the other parents say?
That's
Maybe
what the fa-
maybe play with someone else. To their kid.
Yeah, he is that kind of kid.
So I went with that. I gave him these like headsets, and I saw his like little round body of Elekid, and I thought this is definitely the kid on the playground who has like the bowl cut. Nothing
Oh,
wrong with
100%.
that. Nothing wrong with that.
No, I had one myself.
My
Did you
mom
really?
cut my hair when I was a kid, so
Yep, my mom cut into a bowl. Yep.
Sorry, this is a classic Gajinka right here. Like, this is how they look like in my mind.
Yeah.
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 I like it because it's very. I can literally see like this is how a kid would dress up if they were dressing up as that.
Absolutely. If you're in the Pokemon world, like this is how your mom's is gonna put you out into the street, into school. She's gonna set you up like this, like, son, you were born into an electric type family. You will be representing this type to the day you die. And now wear this thunder shirt that's been passed down for generations.
Oh, and you
It's
can
a grandson of
absolutely
Lieutenant
picture.
Sarge.
It's not what I did, but you can absolutely picture like this is the kid of an electric gym leader who looks like Electivire somewhere.
Ooh, that's a
You
good
know, and they're
idea.
like, and this is my son. It's like, oh, of course.
Yeah.
My kid's lost. Well, what does he look like? He looks like a pre-evolution of me.
You know when you see him.
It's a design that I feel like invites the idea of story. Like I wanted to give him a very dynamic stance. You can see him stomping around. Elekid was one of the first Pokemon that I remember when I was young playing the games. I really wanted. I never could get it, never could find it because I was really young. So I had a cousin who was like, "Well, I'll trade you mine." And he sent it to me and I don't know if he didn't realize he was just being a really good cousin, but he gave me a shiny Elekid. And in my head,
Oh,
this is my partner Pokemon. This is my Pikachu.
Okay, because shiny like it doesn't look like anything. It looks the same.
Yeah, no, that's the thing
Nice.
was I was like, it looks weird, and I was like looking through, when you get a new Pokemon like that, you're like, let me look at all of its stats. despite the fact I don't know what any of these mean as a kid. And I saw the little shiny like icon or whatever, and I was like, oh, it's shiny, that's so cool. And it all came from that idea of like, well, it winds around its hand.
That's how you run faster on the playground. Crank up and then.
No, you put your hands behind you and you
got a Naruto
the
running.
age-old
Yeah.
question, which is faster?
That's the
The Naruto runner, the Cyclone.
the ninja way.
Yeah, each one's gonna have a Naruto reference. It's actually very genius how you did like the missing teeth to emulate like the fangs of an Elekid.
I didn't even notice that. That's so smart.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
you captured like just the feel of a kid like very well.
That-
like
that
this
is just
this
straight up
guy
a
just
kid.
looks like he's ready to go. He's full of energy. He's just a kid. He's just a happy little guy.
I'm around them more often than most. Don't
It's
take
a
that
little
out of context.
Google.
He's definitely like the best friend of the protagonist of like a Cartoon Network
Yeah.
show.
Oh yeah, the comedic relief totally EB.
Oh,
That
yeah.
means it's Bonnie's turn for round
Sumo,
one.
he was in a good show.
Yeah, and what's so cool is like we really all did seem to go a different route. That continues with mine. Yeah, I finally got to do a human design for the channel, 5 champions and their ace. But I wanted
yeah.
to, again, I like to weave story into my characters. I've done something similar to this for my own channel. For those who watch me, I've done like Pokemon Cross D&D.
Oh,
Here's a clone. Yeah, this was the main character for that story I was telling. And then,
Okay.
the character designs would vary. Like, so for example, here's like an inanimate, like,
Oh, that's
object
awesome.
turned, like foe in the story. Like, kind of like Warforged in my little world. And then arguably the most, one of the most popular ones, I had to do some sort of like rogue kind of character.
Jeez,
I really
look
love
at
that world so much, and I wanted to revisit it. This was more like a Western medieval fantasy. I wanted to go something a little more Eastern. So
you've
think
gone Eastern in everything that you've shown on this channel.
I know, but I have established on the channel I am a weeb. I'm not hiding it anymore. I'm full on. Here we go. So here is the first Gajinka for today.
Oh, nice!
Neat.
Oh,
Pon.
That's fun.
The
clearly
Dolly
Ogopon.
Demon.
Yeah, it's Charmander.
I only know Gen 1.
Ogerpon. Right, and the thing is,
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually glad we get to do
The size of that
this
club.
one first, because it's the most easily translatable. Like Ogerpon
It's actually
in itself
probably the
is
one I've
very-
seen the most of Gajinka of, actually.
Oh, interesting. It's in hindsight, I'm like thinking like, oh, that's kind of easy. Like it already looks pretty childlike, but there are a lot of subtle details that I'll be putting into the designs, like I did for the original Pokemon D&D series. With the yellow outfit, I wanted to put stripes for Electabuzz, our first Oni in the series. But I was worried that might read a little too much of that Pokemon, so I kept it yellow to have a nice bounce against like all the green. And then if you look at the handle of the Oni bat, the cudgel, it's orange with that fluff, is like kind of a nod to like Growlithe, Arcanine, like that kind of.
Just to be clear, is this an actual Oni?
Yeah.
So I'm so glad you asked, because I made character sheets to kind of fit them into the world.
Wait, that's sick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so in this
Orc.
world, I pictured her
Okay.
to kind of be like this orc-like entity, and obviously there's like a lot of leeway. Love the trope with the giant weapon, and she's wielding it with great ease.
Chaotic
and
neutral.
She's a barbarian in this take.
Yeah, it's so great. This like little bitty child is just holding this absolutely massive weapon of destruction. I love that trope as well.
Yeah, I do like
it's,
that trope.
it's good. But this is the direction I'll be going in. I'm gonna go full on fantasy.
Oh.
Yeah.
We'll continue to build out the world.
That's
Yeah.
really
So
good.
we got realistic, then we got sci-fi, then we got classic Gajinka style, and then we got fantasy.
The whole mix.
I do have
Yeah,
a
all of
question that is a deep cut for
Perfection.
D&D. Did you make it a level 2 barbarian because that's the level before it gets its primal path, so it'll be able to switch up depending on the mask, different primal path?
Of course.
By the silence, he wasn't planning that.
You'll see as we meet the more higher level characters. Again, this is like that player character, that entry level character.
He's like, can you cut out Stern's question because it spoils everything else I'm gonna
Yeah,
do?
could we record next week?
And this is more like a D&D thing, but like your art style always was very indie video game looking, especially with
Dude,
the
yeah,
motion
that's
to this
exactly what
character.
it looks like. I love the art style. It's so cool.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
So I can see this thing moving platform. like side scrolling. Looking forward to the rest of that story.
Probably using the van, like slamming
Now,
stuff forward.
let's just reiterate, all of my characters, same world, they're actually part of a show, let's say. A little
Oh.
mystery solving show, like almost Scooby-Doo a little bit. I actually was very into Dandadan, an anime that came out this season.
Yo.
Oh
And
yeah.
in my opinion, the female protagonist was so fleshed out and so
We mean
cool.
to watch
and I
that.
wanted to see more female shonen protagonists in
I've only seen the transformation for the guy, and I freaking love it.
school setting, I guess.
Cool demon
so
form.
the one that I'm gonna show you is basically our protagonist in the show. I can't say the name because that would give away the Pokemon, but
Well,
who's that
let's see.
Pokemon?
Who's that? Pokemon. Oh, come on. It's so
Oh,
obvious.
Come on,
So
it's
obvious.
Legato.
It's Sprigatito's evolution. Its name escapes me often.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Floragato.
Yeah, Floragato.
Floragato.
Forgot.
Florigato.
This is Flora.
Ooh.
And I know how much you love Floragato.
Floragato is my favorite Gen 9 Pokemon. It's
There you
slowly
go.
entering
Now
my
you can
top
see
10.
the team.
I think it's a perfect Pokemon design. So I'm like, okay, this makes sense. I think it is basically a protagonist in my eyes. I want to make a
can see
protagonist
that.
based on Floragato. She is basically a native to Paldea. She goes to Uva or Naranja Academy, and that's where she meets Peter. They are complete opposites, but they complement each other very well. Loves
he never shuts
mysteries, so
up?
she's the one who basically starts this group of mystery solvers, basically, that, and Pew hesitantly wants to, hesitantly joins her, but she needs him because he is very good at eavesdropping and getting information, and
He
he's
is
the
silent.
information guy, basically, while
He is
she's
silent.
the adventure person. She wants to go and solve those mysteries that he's scared of Ghost Pew, so he doesn't want to be there, but she needs him. He needs her because they mostly bring out the best of each other, basically. But there's so many inconsistencies with her. Like, she loves adventure, but she hates walking and running. She hates physical activity, but like she loves magic and mysteries, but like she's like very knowledgeable in like science. She's a little bit ditzy, but she's also very, very smart. Sometimes she acts cute, sometimes she acts feisty. I just love characters that can be any personality, and it makes sense. Slightly
That would
comedic
make
relief,
sense.
but not like in an idiot way. Like, she's not an idiot. She actually has really good grades and stuff like that. I guess you guys can interpret like if there's a first episode how they could meet or whatever, but it's mostly. Like there are a bunch of mysteries going on in Masagoza, in the main city of Paldea, and they need to solve them.
I want to imagine that, like, she hears, like, this kid's name, and she's like, that is a crazy nickname. And then she just cuts to the chase. She's like, did you actually puke? And then, like, I want to say that. Yeah, he says no, and then she's like, no, you absolutely did. And then maybe she's got, like, this soft spot for him if he's kind of like this, like, more dorkier type of kid.
Oh,
And then
that
they kind
actually
of, like,
sounds
just continue a
nice.
friendship from there, and I think that's kind of wholesome and cute. And
So Pew is the guy who like he'll act tough, and yeah, all the kids think he's tough, but the adults see right through it. Like the people that are older than him, like Flora, see like right through it. So he is actually a goofy kid that acts a little cool. So like his charms don't work on her. He doesn't have like a crush on her, but like he like very much like respects her, and he's not like
Respect.
he it's hard for him to keep his cool around her.
Mysteries, magic, martial arts, and sunsets is the tagline to my autobiography.
that's fire.
Mysteries, magic.
That's
Again,
also
like
so fire.
I didn't want her to be one thing. I didn't want her to be like like a girly girl or a tomboy. She's basically everything a person can be. Basically, she's a very enthusiastic person. So I put like mysteries, magic, martial arts, and sunset.
Yeah.
That all makes
Referencing
sense.
the Don to Don girl, like I can visualize
Momo,
her
yeah.
personality very well because
Exactly. I just love characters that they can believably be in any situation and react in any situation.
They're
not
very
just like
human.
one note, like just comic relief or just stoic or just.
Dude, we got to talk about the design. I don't think we talk about the design yet. That
Oh, yeah, let's talk
freaking
about the
jacket, I'd buy that jacket if it was Pokemon
Oh,
merch.
for
Like
sure.
that
It is a
was
very good,
perfect
you already have
design
incorporation
on it.
of Florigato into like an actual like fashion thing.
Well, I
you
think
you got to design merch for the freaking Pokemon company. Like that's actually so cool.
That was what I'm going for. Like these are things that people can actually wear, that they could actually do this
Wrong
look,
with
and
get
they would look
loaded.
like Florigato. Even her hair is parted in a way that makes it look like Florigato's face pattern.
Well, I think it's too interesting. Like it's like a poofy jacket, and when I look at Florigato, I would not think like, oh yes, puffy jacket, but it works so well, especially
true.
with it being her partner Pokemon. They like the shape language complements one another so well without being just like, oh,
It
and here's an
does.
identical.
It's good.
look.
It doesn't look like a Florigato cosplay, but it literally has everything of like every accent
Yeah.
that Florigato has.
That's a good way of describing it. Yeah.
That's the approach that I went with my Gajinkas, I guess. I like that kind of Gajinka, if anybody wants to know.
You
So I
did
want to see
well.
more of that. If you are artists watching, do more of that.
You're talking
I
about
guess I
something.
was
It's too late, Ron.
Not you guys. But like the hair clips doing like the ears, just a subtle way of doing that, or like the pigtails being the whiskers, like just subtle things that aren't just like
That is
fantasy.
subtle.
You know, I guess some people are gonna be annoyed that I didn't give her like a yo-yo, and I get it. The yo-yo is so cool on that's such a genius Pokemon, Floragato. But I just like how I turned like his yo-yo on his neck to like her
Zipper.
zipper
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that. And originally
That's
she was
not
gonna have
bad.
like way more like anime looking boots, but then I'm like, no, just wait like normal shoes,
Damn,
like,
Ron.
like anime. Like let me show you some reference. I guess that
These are the Sailor Moons.
she originally gonna have like those like
Oh,
ink
I
like this kind of thing, but then like no, again this is I want this person to be multifaceted. So I'm like, okay, she'll have like anime looking jacket, but like stylish boots.
That would
like,
make
a
sense.
Normal, not weeb would have.
Yeah.
It's a vibe though. She's got like cowboy boots. Like she seems cool. Like I don't know.
Dude, she
Exactly.
seems so
It's just
cool. Like,
The guy almost like
Yeah,
a
she
Wonder
just
Woman
seems like
boots in a
cool
way.
person.
Where I live, we have very Western-inspired fashion, and so I saw it. I didn't think twice. I was like, "Yeah, puffy sweater, cowboy boots. What's up with that?" Everyone wears that.
100%. It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
She is a vibe. And again, I just realized like the Pokemon team is also another like it does showcase again her interests. She's not just like a grass type trainer or just like a cute girl
Cool, goalie,
Pokemon
and
trainer.
fighting.
She has whatever
Goalie,
she
yeah,
likes.
that's what I meant
These
to say.
Pokemon she met in the wild, they caught her eye, matched her vibe, and she caught him. Originally, this was gonna be a guy because yeah, I see Floragato as like a. If you have ever watched like Hunter x Hunter Killua, keep in mind they're both like kids basically.
That's
so
too much.
They need a way to get around, and that'll be our final
Oh.
character.
the next one is just their Uber driver. Who's the next character.
just an old man, just a taxi guy.
This next one is a classic Gajinka, as you know. So I turned Pokemon into motorcycle.
It's just a Koraidon.
Oh, Pokemon the motorcycle's nice.
Right? That'd be fire.
Stern, show us your teen.
I can't because Skynex needs to go.
Why are you
yeah,
skipping
sorry.
me constantly?
Oh my god, Ron.
But if you're saying I get to go before Skynex, I will
No,
jump
no,
at that
no, no.
opportunity.
No, Skynex, delete your second
Yeah,
design.
actually,
Stern's going
you
up.
impressed me more than Skynex last
There we
round.
go.
You get to go.
No, no.
Please delete the design.
I'm
Skynex,
jumping
I
in.
would
Okay,
love
here we
to
go.
see
Finally.
what you've done.
I'm sure you would. Okay, let's see if you guys can guess which
Whoa.
Pokemon.
What's
Ooh.
my daughter? Is this a
I know
Sand?
this one.
The first idea that came to mind for this is to me is definitely the dog fighting type Scrafty.
That's one.
Yeah,
Sand? Let's
Scrafty.
see this. Let me see.
It's
I hope
Goku.
he doesn't get so angry that he dies. My guess is Primeape.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
Primate.
It's Primate.
Oh,
Okay,
damn
let
it.
me pull up.
It was like
Gen
part
1
the
to
damn
me.
So
chains.
Primate has got a very like
that's
simple
fire.
design, so it was
Oh.
very
Oh
fun to
my
incorporate
God.
I'm an idiot.
into a
That's such a
human.
good
And yeah, obviously I got to do the silly little cool lighting epic pose. But Primate's original design, he is literally just a ball of fluff with like brown arms, and then he's got like cuffs on him, and that's it. That's all I had to work with.
I messed up. I was
you know,
wrong.
I think it's actually kind of easier translating a more simple Pokemon design because I essentially just needed to make a human with like these cuffs, which I turned into like prison cuffs.
Chains.
So you could kind of interpret like maybe this guy is on the run, maybe he just broke out of jail. I feel
Yeah.
like that matches the kind of angry personality like Primate has. Obviously, maybe he would be a convicted felon if he's that angry all the time.
I could see
And obviously
that.
he's got a bunch of battle scars because he's in fights a lot because he's like an angry little guy. Yeah, I think it's really
He's
cool.
like
I this
Bakugo,
design.
just always pissed off.
Lore wise, he gets captured again and gets the electric chair, becomes annihilated. That's
Wow.
crazy.
Oh!
That's crazy. That's
Something that I
That's
think
wild.
is
Why would you say that?
He could have a form or something like a power, and then he'd be like a ghostly power.
purple.
Oh,
Saying.
there you go.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Something I
I
think
gotta
is
say-
really cool on these designs is always seeing like what you can add or take away from a design while still allowing it to look like what it previously is.
yeah. That was one thing I was struggling with. Like, do I just give him like a clown nose? Like, how do I incorporate this? So just like, you know what? I'll get rid of it. It's still recognizable. Like the main features of Primate are still there, so you can still recognize it.
I always resort to a band-aid on the nose.
Oh, that
Ooh,
works.
yeah, that's true.
That okay. Now okay. That
Or
kinda actually
bloody
made it
nose.
Well,
better.
no, there's no reason for him to have a band like a band. He lets his wounds be open.
Ooh, that would be.
But what's funny is that like I imagine this like
Okay,
to be
I
like
can
the
see that.
deuteragonist, like there's a protagonist who's like a girl who's prim and proper. She meets him on the way, and he's like the first to join her team or whatever.
I
Yeah.
could totally
and they
see
hate each
that.
other, but they like each
Dude,
other.
I always loved the angry character like stereotype in animes, like the side
Like
character.
Inosuke.
Always, yeah,
Inosuke, yeah.
Inosuke, always ready for a fight. Oh, I love that personality.
Just constantly
Actually, don't.
pissed off, ready to kill.
What?
A little too much. A little too much. I like the people who act normal.
It's like waiting for
Gotcha.
Ron to come in. Actually, you know what? I hate this.
As a design, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
As a also again, like the pose art, I love this. Now I'm looking forward for each one to look at the pose that you
just,
and,
the,
and lighting.
just the cool art I drew with it, yeah.
It's really good.
I
This is
did have fun, honestly, drawing the, because like usually I design a character and that's it. They're thrown away forever. So for this one, I was like, I'm gonna actually draw this character and have fun with it because I've designed them.
This is why I don't like going after
You know-
Skynix, because it's always like he posts his first and I'm like, yeah,
You're
I
great.
deserve to be here. This is cool. We're on par. He's like, here's my second image, and I'm like, I'm garbage.
Just be happy with whatever you make, man. That's
What's
all
funny
you
is that,
need.
like, no, the order actually makes a lot of sense because then we have like realistic fantasy.
Yeah, got a lot of variety in these ones. Yeah, I'll quickly show up the concept art as well before we move on.
He
So
keeps
this
posting
one,
art.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Stop
here we
posting
go.
art.
Bro.
I think this one was I had a
Stir
very
cooked.
clear idea,
Gauntlet.
which was
Nice.
obviously those cuffs were gonna be like the
Oh, he was gonna be a
prison cuffs.
girl.
I could have designed it as a girl because I was like,
Mhm.
how
Now
do I
you like the
incorporate the
trope.
big fluffiness of him? So it's like maybe I'd give the girl a giant like fluffy ponytail.
Overcoat.
Which
Yeah.
it could have been cool, but I wanted to save the
It could've
female
been.
design for the last one.
It wouldn't have looked like a primate, honestly. It looks like a primate.
Yeah. I feel like the boy looks more primate-y.
It may have taken
Definitely.
away from where you were going, but I am upset that the fluffy overcoat is gone.
Yeah.
Overcoat's fire.
Oh, don't worry, you'll see a fluffy overcoat in the next one. so-
Okay.
Oh, very nice.
Dude, this looks like Bakugo.
Wanna-
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I made that same
Every
joke.
character looks the same. Freaking Inosuke,
Kind of.
Bakugo, they all just look the exact same.
But no, specifically in like the art with the where it's a spiky, it looks like his
Yeah.
like, costume. And I always love when we add like a motion blur to our art.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
to
look
get
at the
that little
chains.
extra bit of
Such
into
an
the
easy
pose.
ad. Yeah, There's a lot of scar. Well, how does he have a scar on his like between his fingers?
Don't worry about it. Maybe he walked through like a thorn bush or something. Like it's not even from a battle.
Dude's an idiot.
He's just got
Someone has
scars
forgotten their
everywhere.
roots in traditional art and getting paper cuts in the weirdest spots.
He was an artist.
Yeah, the old paper cuts.
But that's always fun when like they reveal like a fun, unique talent. Like he's actually a good artist. like this
That
angry
is
guy is
something.
actually a really good artist.
These scars, you wouldn't believe where I got these scars from.
You won't believe them, brother.
I like the gauntlet you made. That looked ill.
Yeah, I was wondering because like the original design of Primate has got the iron things around his hands. I was like, I mean, I could translate that
They
into
do, like, the
gauntlets,
mitts, yeah.
maybe, or boots. But I was like the
True.
freaking what do you call it? The chains, like the prison chains. They make so much more sense. Like it's such an obvious choice.
It
I had
adds
to go with it.
it adds movement to the silhouette.
I don't think I've ever drawn a character that was lit from behind. I gotta start doing that. It looks so sick.
Yeah,
kinda
dude,
from behind and
the
below.
trick with lighting is just put the light in just some random direction. It'll always
Yeah.
look cool.
Now it's time for a start.
Alright,
Okay.
here we go.
I went in and I again was looking at like my childhood and my personal experiences with this. And I'll start by reading off this Pokemon's Dex entry.
That'll give it away, but okay.
The 16-year-old in me was like, and I'll post the picture and then I'll read it so you can understand. Here we go.
Oh,
Oh, come on, it's
Yeah.
Dusclops.
All right.
That's Clops.
Yeah, the 16-year-old in me heard body is completely hollow. There is nothing at all inside. It is said that its body is like a black hole.
Look at
And I was
that.
like, damn, that really is me. And so I went with this teenager who's like very like, I'm gonna try so hard to be dark and be, you know, whatever.
He's
and
so
I have to show you this
ghosty.
picture too, because the pants. You may be like, excuse me, Stern, you forgot his feet. No, I didn't, because in the early 2000s,
Oh,
Janko
yeah.
jeans were
Yeah.
a thing
Oh,
God, I forgot about those pants.
That's crazy.
for the edgy kids. And so,
They're probably coming back.
oh, I hope they do.
Okay.
No, we have different opinions on fashion.
I just want to look like a fridge wearing clothes. That's all I want.
I want to be returned to fridge.
So I did this design, and I thought, oh, I want to get those weird, like, tendrily arms off the back. And I thought, well, what is it that these, like, cool, edgy guys do? Well, they don't wear their clothes the way they're supposed to. So he's got this hoodie
Oh.
on, like, draped over his shoulders, and those are actually the sleeves of the
sleeves.
hoodie.
Oh, that's so smart. That's such a
That
cool-
is
So,
clever.
I had a
Oh,
lot of fun.
wow.
I had a ton of fun with this guy and just playing with it and looking back at, like, you know, what would high school, junior, let's be real, what would junior high Stern think is really cool and be like, that's what I'd wear because of my dark soul.
You had Dark Souls back then?
I'm sure I looked like this at one point in high school.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Dude, I love the little bit of like ratty facial hair you've given him.
I was gonna say the same thing. He's like, this looks so cool.
So like the ratty
He's like,
facial
man,
hair,
this is
I gave
awesome.
it these 3 lines that like almost in design-wise connect from like the chin to the wispy little mustache.
Oh my
that
god.
Oh,
almost
look at
look
that.
Like
Everything
the skull
falls
face.
through.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
so
is
well done.
smart. I didn't know we had a genius in here.
Oh yeah.
Yup.
That
No, that's
is
such
meant
a
to be
creative
like
way to
this.
incorporate
Yeah,
like
it's
all of his
very
little
clever.
Okay.
bits and bobs.
But again, what I love is that every single aspect can be done by a person with normal clothes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I think it's actually harder. You guys made it harder for yourself designing like regular clothes instead of just like being able to lean on like the fantasy aesthetic of doing whatever. Makes it a lot easier. So yeah, good job. To,
Hey, it's a challenge.
True Green and Stern for doing regular clothes. It's like-
You're making it harder on yourself is the slogan of my life.
like I have pants that
That's
have
right.
the exact lines in that placement of the pants.
Yeah. You'd literally dress up as this guy right now if you felt like it.
Being edgy is all about layers. How do you do these various pieces of clothing that all have almost this exact same pattern on them? And yeah, using those lines of the pants, I was like, I can kind of trick this. When I was in school, our dress code was super strict. If you had frayed edges, you were a gang member and a hooligan.
It's cool that this is actually
Oh
very similar
boy.
to the Pokemon art style. So it's like,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
This is the guy that thirsts after the Hexmania. You know which
Oh.
one.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
brother, but okay, we could do that too.
Oh, he's
because
going for the
I've always wanted
Hexmania.
a Pokemon game where it focuses on the humans, like a casual like life of the humans, just like we see in the like Pokemon shorts sometimes. So like that's I guess why me and maybe Stern like I wanted to gravitate towards that kind of design. Like these like the stories that with my characters are telling are just about the humans with the Pokemon just existing in the background.
If this guy does attend the academy in Scarlet and Violet, he's basically the kid who's like, I think he's in my class, but I don't think I've ever talked to him.
I know, I want these kids to interact with Ron's character.
He's in the back row
we can do
corner.
that. We can totally do that.
Yeah, you guys do that. Okay. And then me and Skynix link up and we're gonna make some kind of
And we'll
sort
make our characters fight to the death because we've all got
Yeah,
like
oh,
weapons and stuff in our
Oh
own.
dear.
Like
Lord.
my kid Pew, like he'll meet up with your elected kid. He'll think he's weird, but like he'll treat him nicely.
Yeah, they're solving the
he'll tag
mystery.
him.
Oh, I can
of
see
the
that.
ghost that's in the library. Turns out it's just this guy.
It's just this guy.
Yeah.
Just him.
It's just him.
That's
Like they need
crazy.
information about like some kind of ghost or something that is going on, and for some reason your character, your
Oh, I'm sorry for pausing, but if the actual Pokemon is called Dusclops, then he would be called like Duskull, something like that.
Relic knows what's up. He has information, so he has to tag along with the group. And Flora hates this kid. Flora is annoyed by this kid, but in the end, he actually solves the case. He solves the mystery. This guy has a
I'm
huge
loving
crush
this
on
episode.
Flora.
Oh.
I mean, video.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then, but slowly, like over the course of like 2 seasons, we realize he's a really cool guy, and like he has so many talents.
Wait, and you know what else is cute? This guy's like all black and white. Flora is like that name Flower, very green,
Bubbly.
and like as
Oh, yeah.
as he kind of warms up to her and she shows him the kindness, maybe she gives him like a flower and he starts dressing more colorful. Oh, it's cute.
Yeah, it's that
Oh!
scene where she gives him a flower and he puts it on and it becomes like the focal point of him. That one spot of green and pink on his gray demeanor.
I love
And then his
that.
glow up starts. He's actually hot as fuck.
He becomes a
boy.
dust noir. Oh my god.
Ooh!
Which noir, like a type of detective book.
Oh, it's all coming together.
Yes!
Totally join him because again, there's a lot of ghost stuff going on in Mesagoza. He knows about ghosts.
Dun, 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 dun,
He even
dun.
has a Dusclops.
I'm scrapping all my designs. I'm gonna join your guys' university.
Yes!
No, your
Make the show!
Your story is the video game that our characters play.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
no, or you know what?
there you go.
Maybe my
That's
events
clever.
happened like hundreds of years back because I picture it in like ancient catacombs.
Oh, so it is in the Pokemon world. Okay.
This one does have a name. His name is Dustin Klopp.
Oh.
Okay, perfect.
Mr. Clark.
Dustin is
Claw.
totally the guy who would have a crush on the female protagonist.
Absolutely.
I think she calls him Dusty, and he says, I don't like that, but in reality, he does.
Why am I shipping
loves
these
it.
characters so hard? I just met them, bro.
Viewers, fan art.
Fan art cannon.
Feel free to fan out any
Activate.
of our characters, especially the one that Bonnie's about to show us.
We met
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Bondrun, and she's adorable. And perhaps seen as a troublesome individual in Kitakami, where I picture the story taking place. She is, after all, a little Oni, right? A little orc. We end up meeting a character who is set to destroy her.
Oh,
Densuke.
Ooh.
Densuke.
Okay, well, this guy is based around Hisuian Decidueye.
Cool.
Fists like arrows.
Hisuian Decidueye.
Yep.
This is again, I know the Pokemon, I just don't know the name of it. Oh, god damn it.
This one I had to
Oh, look, striking the
take
same
more
pose.
creative liberties. This was such a blast to do. Decidueye would be a ranger with a bow and arrow. Well, I picture Densuke.
Oh,
as
and
a
look at his
monk, and that's why I
gold.
have fists like arrows, where, if not even fists, he's like jabbing close range, like, you know, the tip of an arrowhead when he's fighting. And, you know, he's got some range with the staff. You know, I picture him to be more martial, like as a fighter, you know, really leaning into that fighter. He is a character who was sent to eradicate this Oni or yokai that has been plaguing. I picture him to be a monk as part of a monastery in Kitakami that trained to destroy yokai. He reaches the site where he hears about this dangerous creature, and he finds out, no, it's
Just a
actually
little
this
girl.
very innocent, tiny, adorable little young Oni.
She's so small.
And so he's like, you know, I am a huge fan of the Mandalorian kind of like, you know, badass merc with the
Older
little baby
father
side.
figure.
Everybody does.
When you see who I chose, it'll make sense why even a Hisuian Decidueye is considered quote-unquote middle age compared to what's next. But
Dialga.
the god of time itself. You've got like a little Chimecho at the end of the staff.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
just
I
noticing
did
that.
see that.
Yeah,
I was curious.
He's got these like spirit tags in the back, like Pokeballs. So I pictured when he like destroys yokai, he tags them with the Pokeball colored ribbons at the end and like seals them. You know,
Wait, that's so cool actually.
if you peep his
Nice.
gold belt hanging there, he's got like this gourd for container, but like they're broken up in the style of Sinistea with the kind of cracks.
Oh,
Kintsugi. So he's got
okay.
like his tea set with him at all times when he's like traveling.
Dennis John, Poltergeist, I think.
Oh, Sinistea, right.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then, like,
yeah.
giving him the little sidekick, like, oh, I can't destroy you. You're adorable. You're actually not
It's
a
his
threat at
dimple.
all. He's kind of in a way honor bound to like destroy evil and this and that. And now he's got to convince all these people, like, no, this is like an innocent. You know, it's not.
She's a
Yeah,
child.
she's an Oni.
She's
She's
9.
an orc, but she's not dangerous. You know, like.
Oh, okay.
Shit.
That's the concept art.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of detail going on, and this is me, you know, exploring the design, and you can see how far Ponpon has come. You can see the mask on the back.
Yeah.
But
Dude, he
overall-
originally kind of looked like you.
Stop. I wish I was this jacked and lean. But you know, he was just too cool and had all this detail, and I have to abide by the prompt by the end of the day. And you
True,
know, even if the color
true.
palette's a little similar, you know, I put like this kind of like shoulder pauldron of an owl, and I could like, you know, make a case like, oh, it's like, you know, a Japanese style mask, and he's wearing it this and that, and I'm like, no, that's not really like, you can see the inspiration, but it's not Hisuian Decidueye.
It's not a
Yeah,
Gajinka.
that's
Sorry,
the
this
original.
definitely would be the show that my protagonist would watch because
Level 8
they,
monk.
they would mimic this guy hunting yokai. They're hunting ghosts and
Oh
mysteries.
my god, it actually comes together.
Boom!
Goodness.
That's how
It
you
really
build
gives
a
me,
world. I
Overwatch
love it.
design vibes. Like they'd look at this and be
Actually,
like, "We want
yeah.
the overcomplicated one."
yeah. Which, I mean, I love that design, and like, you have to give credit where credit to. Overwatch designs like really changed how like character design in video games.
True, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you
It's
some
my
of
turn
that.
again. Let's see how the story
Here we go.
unfolds.
His last one.
So we got these two kids who share a brain cell. We need an adult in the room. And here she is.
Ooh.
Oh,
okay.
wait.
Yeah.
Barnacle.
Wait, hold. Oh, I see it.
How did you make one of my least favorite Pokemon cool?
It's
That's
around
literally
Barnacle.
what I was
Well, it's
trying to
evolution.
I mean, it's like Voldemort. You can't really say this person's name. It's Pokemon's name.
Wow.
It hurts, but I'm gonna try. Barbaracle.
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 I'm
That
actually a
was
huge
it.
fan of.
Oh.
I love Barbaracle.
Barbara.
I think it makes no sense to dislike a Pokemon that is supposed to be ugly. Like, it's like Why wouldn't it look like
It's
this?
ugly on
And I think
purpose.
it's a fantastic, unique.
That's the whole
design.
point.
Oh yeah, it is ugly. So I'm like, what if I turned an ugly Pokemon hot? That was actually the first thing I came up with. I'm like, okay,
Dude.
now I know the direction.
This is such an interesting take. Like, I would never have expected this from any
Oh,
of
I
us.
like this.
And yet it like really works because I really don't know what I would have done for that design.
Yeah.
Really. It felt like he was wearing the rocks. So I'm like, okay, you can easily do clothes in
Kind
that
of,
same
yeah.
configuration.
Kind of.
Even down to the holes, and it makes sense with the fashion that she's wearing, Barbara. Like, the holes make sense with that kind of fashion, I guess, and the tears and stuff like that. Even the stripes with the leggings. Even the headphone mimiking the other binacle or the other heads on it.
Oh yeah. that's
Yeah.
right.
Even the bangs mimicking the
Teenagers,
the,
idiots,
the
and
finger
fake
head.
people.
It's so weird to say that a
I
finger
was
head.
looking at the hates.
She's giving very like the cool aunt kind of vibes as like a character.
Yeah. If he was voiced by, I don't know if you guys know Gray Delisle or Gray Griffin. She voiced like Vicky from Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh.
She voiced
Oh.
what's her
I
name?
thought the name sounded familiar.
Frankie from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Mandy, Azula.
Yeah, okay.
She can yell and be a little raspy, but she's,
Oh, you know
like,
what?
she's not
Perfect.
mean. She's just, she doesn't like teenagers that much. Like she doesn't. Doesn't have the patience for kids, but she's still a good person, and she'll reluctantly tag along because they needed an adult to solve these cases.
Gotta save
they
them.
need a person. She's so she's actually the groundskeeper of I'm gonna say Naranja Academy. She takes care of all the like machinery in the school. She even teaches the shop class, like the mechanic class. She's a
can
really
see
good
that.
mechanic.
Oh, like the vocational
She's
school.
friends with like Dendra of the academy. She's from Lumio City, so she's French. She does have an accent in this world. But the point is that she's actually an actually good trainer. Like she's the only one of the three that's actually really good at battles. She's the only one who could drive, and she loves driving. She has like a truck. She loves a lot of
Alright.
things, but like she doesn't act that way. Like I like it where she's like very not a tsundere, but like she doesn't really show her love to people, but she actually does love a lot of things, a lot
Yeah.
of people.
She loves people,
so
but
like
hides
slowly
it.
has become friendly with her, and they become friends with her. Like she becomes less irritated by them, and you see more facets of her. I actually have reference from what was the original reference from this.
Oh, here we
It was
go.
This original design for Nami from One Piece.
Whoa!
Oh,
Look at that
okay,
gauntlet
yeah.
thing.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, turning his
That's a
like
massive
stripes
ass
and
axe.
stuff just into simple like leggings and sleeves. It's just such a perfect way of incorporating it into a human
100%.
design.
And then even like I just read the boots being his nails on
Yes, I like that.
his toes.
I like the idea of taking not just like this is an ugly Pokemon. What if I made it hot? But taking like a hyper masculine Pokemon and
Oh,
making
oh,
it this very
yeah.
like, tough and punk, still feminine character. I think is really cool
To a
and
tough
definitely
punk
a challenge
chick.
here. And I love that you incorporated the eyes onto the headphones because it took me a second to notice them there. But I thought, oh, we kind of lost those second eyes in this design when I saw the headphones. Like, oh,
So
no,
kind of
they're
obvious.
Yeah, it's the only one where of the three that has like a literal thing from the original Pokemon instead of like a translated thing, but it makes sense on headphones. And technically that means she has another face on the other side. So it's like she really does have the two faces. And even like the eyes are literally, it was the easiest eyes to translate into the character. Adopt.
I
Obviously,
never
so
appreciated
easy.
the color palette on the Pokemon until I saw it on Barbara.
Ah, yeah. See?
Like this color palette is really nice together. Like the warms with that like slate gray really lets that orange pop.
Yeah, I
This
feel like
is
the
actually
colours
really
work
good.
with her personality as well, like the grays,
Yeah.
but just with like a pop of edgy color as well.
All right, I like Barbara.
And that was the full
That was the
team.
point.
You convinced them.
I want people to like associate Barbarical with Barbara. She drives them to the places that they need to go, but she doesn't come out of the car. She stays in the car because she doesn't want to be there. But as the kids are being attacked by a monster or whatever, Pokemon or a ghost, she last minute, charges in with the car and like hits the animal or whatever.
Oh,
the
gee.
freaking ghost with
Like that's her signature move. She just runs over the enemy.
Hits the ghost with the car. And like, get in, kids! And then they get in. I just
like,
for
"Get
some
in!"
reason love this dynamic that I came up with.
Yeah,
these
it's
characters.
great. I
It's
love all the
cute.
character
It's-
dynamics.
They really fit with each other.
I never get to do makeup, so it's fun doing makeup on Barbara. Like there's I don't know if you really can tell with the compression on Discord, but like
There's
No, I
some
can see
blood
the
from the
underneath
cheeks.
the eyes, underneath
Yeah,
the
I've-
mascara.
yeah.
The
I've never done it.
silver.
It looks so cool.
It matches the personality,
nice.
like the makeup
And then
you
you
chose.
contoured the cheek. I see that.
Skynex.
Yes, let's
Alright,
go.
here
Okay,
we go.
for this one, I feel like this is the most obvious which Pokemon it is. I feel like you guys are gonna get it instantly.
Luxray.
Luxray, obviously.
Yep, there it is.
Give
I
me
do
a
not want
second.
to.
Of course I had to do Luxray. Luxray is literally like the most
Love
badass
Luxray.
Pokemon.
Oh my god, stop it with
that's
it!
Jeez, that's
My
good.
idea for this is just I want a badass warrior woman, so freaking Luxray was the perfect
He's a
choice.
sorcerer.
I think
This
she
is
kills the Power Rangers with the grippies out too. That's crazy.
10,000 years trapped on the
No,
moon.
yeah, because in the Luxray's original design, their back feet are just blue, but I
Oh,
felt like
valid.
giving them
This-
blue boots would have looked a
The-
bit weird, so I was just like, yeah, bare feet, that's it.
The
Okay,
stripes
that
on
makes
its
sense.
arms being like the straps on her arms. Makes,
Smart.
that's
Yeah.
so smart.
I think this one, I translated almost everything in Luxray's original design. Like, they've got the big spiky hair, the yellow ears have turned into earrings, the nose has become like this cool red stripe on them, all the
Nice.
spikes in the same places on Luxray's body and on her body, and all the, like, the blue is the same areas, like there's a bit on the stomach, it's the back legs, the face, and the arms, and
Yeah,
everything.
okay.
The one
Okay.
thing I chose this because I liked it. I gave her a spear. I should have given her a whip because Luxray's like tail like could translate into a whip very easily. But I just like the
Oh.
spear. I like the spear
Translates
too
I feel
much.
like
Spear
you can
too.
still do this here.
Yeah,
I feel
it's
like
literally
you can,
translated perfectly.
It's
Like,
good.
why couldn't you just say
It's got
the star
thunder
end
lance.
has like an electrical, like kind of stream that like lets it extend itself and whip out?
Oh, I mean, it could.
Yeah.
It is a fantasy whip. It just turns into a freaking
Absolutely.
whip.
Yeah, done. It's done. It's canon now.
Canon.
Dude,
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen this exact pose. Like, do I know the reference or just you came
Oh,
up with this?
I've got some. Yeah, if I show off my
Okay, what's the
concept art,
reference?
a very big inspiration was White Diamond, as you can see in the
Oh.
image there from Steven Universe, like that
Okay.
elegant woman with giant spiky hair and like an overcoat. I also put Shadow the Hedgehog in there as reference.
Hell yeah!
Of course.
But yeah, you can see some of the other designs. Like I was thinking of if I made them a man in the bottom right, like this big buff guy.
Very detailed.
You can see in some of the poses I drew her with a whip, which like the tail translates to a whip. I also gave her armor in some of the ones. The problem with the armor was like you wouldn't be able to see their skin as much, and Luxray has got a lot of blue on
Yeah.
them, so I
True.
went with the other design.
True.
But yeah,
The whip would have been too cliche in my opinion.
yeah.
The
Yeah,
buff
I
man in the
actually like the
corner
spiel.
makes me think of that meme, like Lysander, the cooler Lysander.
It's also a bit like Alder. Now I look at it. I don't like one-dimensional villains that much, and the whip feels like it's like a torture device. It's like, oh, they're a bad guy, they have a whip.
Yeah.
But like a spear feels like
Yeah.
not like they want to finish
whip
you off
is
right
kind of
away.
overdone.
They're a true warrior, you know.
Yeah, it matches the warrior personality a bit more, doesn't it?
Also,
Like with
that
the spear, so
spear,
it
like
can kick
doubling
your
up
ass.
as a scepter, really gives an air of like power and control over,
Yeah,
something like
didn't
a
even
whip.
think of that. That's cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
Feels like a queen instead of like the second in command or whatever.
A
with the whip.
dominatrix.
Well, yeah.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, that was my problem. Like in the original, if you look at the in the concept art, if you look at the far right design, I'm like, yeah, that's just a dominatrix. I can't go with that.
Yeah.
Listen, there's plenty.
Knows of that.
I mean, the chat that appreciates this.
I'm sure there are.
I'm quickly realizing I may not be able to show my third.
Hey, I wanted to have the hottest character. You can't be doing this.
Control, save image.
Oh god. damn it. Yeah, and I think the last thing I wanted to show off is we were tasked with designing a child, a teenager, and a adult. And obviously there's going to be some very big like height differences between all three of those characters. You couldn't really see that looking at them like individually, so I just made a little chart with
Oh,
all of
here
them
we go.
together just so you
Nice.
could see it.
Cute.
Oh,
Here all they are.
Jeez,
The
what the
official
hell? That puts her
canon
at
heights as well.
7.
I forgot that.
7 foot. What the hell?
7. Oh my.
Yeah,
Oh, that
with the hell, but judging by her actual height, looks like she'd be about 5'10", 5'11" or so.
Yeah,
Oops,
she's
sorry
a
about that.
cool one.
I like these colors together.
Yeah, they all got their own thing going
Well, the
on. but
one-
you know,
The one thing I was concerned about is you can see the Luxray one is the only person who doesn't have a natural skin color. I had to make her
Oh, yeah.
like blue. Like I guess
Huh.
like
that's okay.
Widowmaker from Overwatch is like she's just got a skin condition
It
just
could
to match
easily-
the original colors.
Yeah.
That's true.
She
I
got
could-
hit by an asteroid and got her powers.
It could be white, like war paint in blue lighting.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe.
There's some storyline you can use to connect all three. Like earlier,
Oh,
like
definitely.
they could be their own individual. I'm telling you, you could find.
Dude, this is a
Some
villain
fun
group right here.
connection.
I don't know
Yeah.
why,
Oh,
but they're all
completely.
villain coded.
Yeah.
Well, it feels like
Beldam's gonna make a turn at the end.
it feels like going right to
Yeah.
left is like technology, like ancestry, and then like this bastardization of the mix of the two for your villain.
Yeah.
I'm liking this.
I think the Luxray is controlling both of the other two. The Primeape was the first one to leave, and he wants the Beldam, his former friend, to join him, the good side. But the Beldam is just too far gone, too
break
much,
free.
because he's like the most powerful of the three actually, and the Luxray is utilizing this. Like she's utilizing.
Yeah, she's a
Wait, what if
smart one.
Primeape was originally captured by the Luxray, broke free, and like, he's like, I'm not going to fight to your whims anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe Lux.
Well, oh my
Man,
god,
this
I
would
would
be a
cry
good
for this
show.
Beldam kid. Like he's gonna have amazing
Absolutely.
voice act. He's gonna be screaming, "No, you left me!" Like he actually,
Oh.
like the Primeape was his only friend among the group, like the villain group, and the Primeape left because he obviously didn't want to be there anymore. But
Obviously.
now the Beldam feels that personally. He's like, well, "You left me," because he has abandonment issues.
Dude,
and
you
then
guys are
becomes
writing a
more-
freaking compelling story
Well, here's
right
what
now.
happens.
okay,
This
Here's
would
what
be
happens
good
is
shit.
The Primeape character gets so distraught over all of this that your Luxray comes in and is like, yes, the hatred will flow through you. Let the anger pour through. And then we get like our
He's doing a
Super Saiyan
Palpatine.
transformation into Annihilate.
right.
Oh
right.
my, it all comes together.
Ooh.
That's good. That's good.
Beautiful. I
Lux
want
on
to
the
watch
baby.
this.
Lady Lux.
That's a good nickname for her.
Lady Lux. Oh,
Lady
And then
Lux.
Call
I love it.
Prime, his name is just straight up Prime, as sponsored by Prime. Is his
Prime
full
energy.
Well, I feel like it
Yeah,
works.
Prime Energy.
If you go the storyline
He
that he
was
was like the first one that broke out, it's like, and you will be my prime.
She realized she couldn't contain him, and
Love
then
it.
that's why she, retrofits Beldam with the mask and like, more tech clearance to like make sure he doesn't break the spell.
what's funny is that he's literally a fusion of KSI and Logan Paul.
Oh, no, don't say that. no.
Unholy combination.
Okay, in that case, then the Beldam's name would need to be something just simple, just Ben.
But no, listen.
Boom.
But in reality, so in the story, Prime Ape, I'm calling him Prime the Ape because he was actually one of the strongest, like,
Yeah.
of this, like, of the
The
antagonists.
strongest primate high
like,
schooler.
It was like he was very, like, he had a title, like people like feared him, and on the the good guys feared him. He was Prime the Ape, but then he left. He was like the first one to leave the villains.
Palpatine with the electricity too.
Oh,
Yeah, you literally went.
Oh.
And Beldam is like, what's his name, Kylo Ren.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Finish what you started.
No, this is really good. This is fun. Gotta do more of this. Please, guys, like the video so we can do more of this. Cause
God, yes, make this.
Sterninator.
Okay,
So
here we
I'm
go.
gonna drop in my character, and you've got to guess what Pokemon she is.
Let's actually see who can do it faster, like last time.
Oh god.
yeah, let's race.
Toucannon.
Two cannons.
Two
That's
cannons.
obvious.
Yes, this
Pelican.
is
I think Ron
I would have
beat me, Ron
accepted
beat
that.
me,
I would
Ron
have
beat me.
accepted that.
this is Tuca Anon, and I
It
love
was
her.
so obvious.
Was she like
oh my god.
a detective?
She kind of bad.
She just
Dude,
cool.
her
She is
hair
very
is
bad.
phenomenal. Like, this is
She is
the most.
very-
Yeah,
I
that's
agree with
so
whoever
sweet.
said that.
Crazy.
I used
Wait. Oh my God! I know how she fits in my story now. Oh wait,
Ooh.
no, sorry. No,
Here
you
we
tell
go.
her story.
Oh, you think she's terminally ready?
like characters like this, and I was like, okay, got it, 80% leg.
Bayonetta.
80% leg.
I wanted to kind of like you did, Ron, with the Pokemon who will not be named, turning something very masculine into something more feminine. But I went in and was like, okay, so he has these blue feet, he has these yellow cheeks, and he has these blue under eyes. So I went in and got to play with makeup as well, and gave her not only the blue eyeshadow, the subtle blue eyeshadow, but these blue aviators that she's like tipping down, which I was hoping would mimic that idea of like these like eye bags
Yeah,
that
it
Toucannon
does.
has that are blue, bringing up that blue from just the feet into the legs a little bit more to make them look like they were at one point very dark blue jeans that have been faded. And then of course the
Ah.
blue boots, which are Converse with heels, which I
It does
did.
look like talons. It looks like
That is a thing.
Very
Because looking
slightly.
at
Very
Toucannon
slightly.
feels very prim and proper in like his setup, almost even having like a Dickie tuxedo type of look. And I wanted this very like, I don't know, very like can stand on her own type of character. And how do you handle that without making her a little bit rougher?
Toucannon gets down to business.
I mean, this is
Yeah.
just good.
I even thought about like, what if she gets mad? What if I don't do the hair as the beak? and I thought I want to see that thing of like getting mad and just becoming fully red, but just left it to
Yeah.
Ooh.
anime interpretation of if that happened,
be fun.
you could do that.
That's
for
how
fun.
it would be in an anime for sure.
It would, yeah. So
Like
what's
the
her deal?
anger,
What's her-
like the more angry she gets, the lighter it becomes until it's just blazing white.
What age would she do? What's her job?
What's her deal? What's her job? Like I did with my
She have a
other,
401k?
her social security number is. I don't have a specific job for her, which sounds like good news because it sounds like you do, Ron.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I just thought like I want a character who feels very confident. They know who they are.
To me, I think this is the legit detective of Mesagoza. Like this is the professional. Our protagonists
Oh,
are amateurs,
yeah.
and they keep on butting heads with this person who doesn't want them to, be in their way. She hates seeing these kids, on her what's it called? The crime scenes and stuff like that that she keeps on.
Yeah, on
They
site.
ruined the scenes, maybe, or
They ruin the
maybe
evidence,
they're
or
solving
they're
it faster rate than her somehow.
They are. That's the thing. They're like, no, we're solving these mysteries faster than you, better than you. We should be able to do this. By the fourth season, she's helping. But the first three seasons,
Oh,
she's,
yeah.
she's one of those like minor antagonists constantly. She's the arch nemesis, not the arch nemesis, but one of
Dude,
the minor
I
nemesis.
Just
love
one of the rivals.
the antagonist that you can still like root for. Like she would definitely be an antagonist. Like I'm just happy whenever she shows up.
Yeah, like sometimes like she'll give them a bone, or like she'll like do something nice that's like that'll like redeem her for that episode. But like the next 3 episodes later when she shows up again, like she'll still be annoying.
You saying give them a bone?
just be a villain.
We need to have a Griever mascot character, and he's just so cute, and he's maybe at the crime scenes like popping up.
And he's
Oh, yeah.
constantly butting heads with the Flora's Florigato.
And he's scared and says Rutro.
Oh, and Pew. So Pew, my Peter guy, he's afraid of ghosts. So he's afraid of the dog of Griever.
But in the end, they actually become such close pals. Like he's like, no, you're actually
Yeah.
not that bad.
I'd love to see
Oh,
the episode
yeah.
where he's like, I accept you. You're not that scary.
Now that's development.
And we could be friends. And that love makes it evolve.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm scared of you again.
That's
But the Griever
Houndstone.
isn't like owned by anybody. He's like a wild Griever that constantly shows up.
Tuca is definitely the character who it's like, she's a jerk to them. She's pushing them around like, I'm the real detective. You're not. But then in a time of crisis, she's the one who kind of shows up and like rescues
Exactly.
them.
Oh yeah,
Maybe she sees her
pulling a lot of Scooby-Doo ink.
younger self in them, and she's like, I became this like prim and proper, like I was forced to like grow up and be this like harsh version of myself, and I give it my all, but like I see what they're doing, I'm like half jealous. Like I put all my life into this work, and like here they are like
This is
making
just
friendships
good.
and this and that, and she doesn't regret how she turned out, but like she gets to kind of cool down her heat,
Maybe her and Barbara have a thing going on and off. You never know.
I'm down for it.
You never know. The second episode,
Yeah, okay.
there's a haunting in the school, and like there's this scary. Everybody's like, "Oh, there's a ghost in the toilet. There's a ghost in the library. Whatever." Turns out it's the Griever, and that's how he joins the
Griever.
team. He's the ghost that
Hell
haunts
yeah.
the school.
Boom.
Well, and then where she steps in is when her bosses and her superiors are like, did you find the ghost? And she looks at these kids and this dog, and they're like, did you find that ghost and able to bring it in? She says, no, we didn't find
Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
Smart, yeah.
That was
like
no
she gets
found the
ghost.
gold underneath.
She's
We know
always
it.
the antagonist throughout the entire show, but always like the last minute of the episode, she does something good.
Yeah.
I'm loving this.
Green light it, make it happen.
I'm
Oh,
glad
yeah,
here I'm getting
animate
invited
that.
back for another episode. For licensing and fees.
Once you drop these characters into the Discord, the copyright transfers to me.
Oh no!
Okay.
It's as if you were commissioned. All right, cool. I guess it's time. Let us see the end of
All right,
Bonnie's
the final
tale.
one.
So I guess without further delay, we're going to meet the final character in this Kitakami set. Decidueye is the disciple. Let's meet
All
the
right,
master.
who is
And this is
it?
the guy who's
And
putting
that-
him on the mission.
Yes.
Be also Luna.
Wow.
Danjiro,
Oh,
the roaring spirit.
This is a this is a
So-
weird thing to say, but if I ever, God forbid, need a
I was not expecting it to be a drum pop.
cane in my life, I know that I'm gonna fashion something like that.
We're just designing merch at this point. We're just designing Pokemon.
Yeah, honestly.
I would love
So,
that.
so I once again, incorporating multiple elements to these characters.
Oh wait,
If the other
Look at the
characters have like
stat thing.
nods to Chimecho,
It's
and
Regidrago.
Electabuzz over here. So you guys might be wondering, well, Bonnie, what the hell? Like we're making Gajinka. Why is there a whole ass braviary? braviary?
That's the opposite of a Gajinka.
Exactly. In this story, this guy is a sorcerer. In the magical realm, like I kind of pictured this was his familiar. So he's a level 20 sorcerer. He's like maxed out, brolic dragonborn. Because when you find dragonborn in D&D, they're like
Nice.
draconic in nature, having claws and tails and snouts. So I picture he's probably like got like kind of a disguised self. You got a fun little dragon tail kind of peeking in the back. A fun little Reggie Drago cane, which like is kind of his scepter having that connection. When you look at Drampa, like, you know, I remember seeing so many people saying like, why is he so old? He shouldn't have evolved.
Why are you
into
old?
this." Yeah, why are you like born old, bro? And that's why I like him. He's a freaking old, cute dragon guy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
straight
it was-
up a grandfather.
It was so fun to translate, you know, his hair. I gave him like these kind of longer locks. You know, the glasses translated very well.
Yep,
Funny
the
enough,
eyes.
like Decidueye's design, he's got like the inverted half moon shaped glasses, so I like that kind of connection, which was just so crazy.
Oh,
and how I design
yeah.
my characters is through ensemble. So like when you see
That is hard to see, but look, he's got the under rim, he's got the over rim.
them side by side, that's like for me the triumph. I picture the story is Decidueye taking Ogerpon, you know, through this mountain where they vanquish the yokai, trying to get her safely to Drampa, who will, you know, take care of her at the monastery in the same way. And then part of the
Boom.
kind of
That's clever.
quote-unquote reveal is that the boy, you know, Decidueye was an orphan at one point too, and so takes pity, and you know he was taken and raised at the orphanage, and hopefully Ogerpon, you know, safely makes it and you know becomes this kind of demon slayer.
Oh,
Da-na-na-na-na.
this is
My
good.
favorite part about this guy is the freaking like
Oh,
hair
that's a
and
lot of
facial
hit
hair you
points.
gave him. Like I know in the Pokemon universe, humans often have like these crazy haircuts. This fits
Yeah.
so well. It is just so fun.
Sorry, in my opinion, he's definitely the ancestor of.
Oh, they
Yeah.
Oh,
did
look.
something like that. Wait, who is
Wait,
this?
This is Ludlow from the anime.
He's cool.
Oh,
Literally a Gajinka already.
It's one of the few characters that is very much a Gajinka.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, he's
Incredible.
definitely his ancestor. Like, it's just so cool to see how they took it in that direction. Like, fancy out the clothes. Like, you can see how they did the floofy bit of Drampa out in the front is kind of like this apron type of beat, and I used it as kind of the ends of his kimono. It's really cool to see like the official capacity.
Okay.
The
that's
fact that
actually
you bring
cool.
in so many different Pokemon aspects into each of the designs, it just
Yeah.
it goes so many lengths in making the world feel lived in. There is stuff outside that has incorporated into what just this character is.
And isn't that just like the pinnacle of character design? The design itself tells a story and like gets you intrigued
Ex-
of like why everything is the way it is.
You know, Pokemon is so
Nice.
rich. We've got like 1,000 creatures plus. Like to me,
Oh yeah,
it's so fun
I mean,
to
according to the count, it's up to 1,010.
bolster the design. Like it further grounds them in the world as you know it, where you know, to the layperson they'll be like, oh, that's a cool looking cane, but then if you know, you're rewarded for knowing. The same thing with like the Chimecho. Like I just, you know, picture this, you know, hermit walking, and like from the distance you hear a ringing, and you know, maybe you hear the bad guys go like, oh, be careful.
It's
I
like-
know that
oh, yeah.
sound. I've heard him, you know, I've heard this before. And then his fists come flying like arrows. Like I picture the sound effect of like, you know, arrows shooting through the wind.
Like he moves so fast, it does sound like an arrow.
And
Well, the style in general, like this guy has style. Like he looks like he cares about
Swaggy, right?
his swagger, you know. But also like the stylish glasses really does give him like this youthful. Yeah, he feels like he would be able to move really quickly even though he's old, and like almost like Netero from Hunter x Hunter, or like
Oh, yeah.
obviously like Roshi.
absolutely vibe. Yeah, like he's, you know, very.
These
you'd
are all
imagine
pretty
very
cool.
Slow, but he's a dragonborn. He could transform. You know, he's a sorcerer, so he would like actually destroy you before you even move. I think.
Definitely
Yeah,
has
he's
dragon
got-
breath.
That's the entire story.
Okay, now I want to do more. You fall in love with these characters and it's so fun.
Okay,
But I was saying,
wow.
Ron, you've ruined my Twitter algorithm.
I gotta give
because
this a
now
like.
it's like, hey, we saw that you searched up Gajinka 8,000 times last week. Like, no.
All right, that's enough. We're gonna go ahead and call this a stop for now. I hope everyone enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Link to the original will be down below. I'll see all of y'all next time. Have a good day. Peace out.